Welcome to Behind Blue Eyes, the show that is all things New South Wales Rugby League. We'll talk to our greats of the past about the life and times of our players and people of today. Great to have you on board. Let's go Behind Blue Eyes.
G'day, it's Jamie Soward and we are about to go behind Blue Eyes, a full wrap-up of Origin 3. And it is so hard to win a decider up there. Remember back to 2011, going up there, 1-1 series on a knife edge, and you just want to get out there and play, and then you realise, look up at the clock, first 20 minutes is gone, and the game could be almost gone. I felt like so much energy for us in New South Wales was used in that first 20 minutes that it took us a while to find our feet in that first half, and then realised that at the back end of the game, a lot of that juice was probably used up in the first half. So if you have a look at how Queensland started, they kicked off, they were very physical, and we really struggled to get to our kick and find any field positioning early. A few mistakes by the New South Wales Blues, but it's so hard to win a decider up there. Everything has to go right. And you saw on Wednesday night how hard it is to win a series up there in Queensland with so many fans right on top of you baying for blood. Not getting, the rub of the green is what it feels like, but when you're out there, it's certainly a lonely place at times if you're not getting the job done. And for New South Wales, unfortunately, they weren't able to get it done. But it is a daunting task to go up there and try and win the series. A couple of other talking points out of the game. Everyone's talking about the Matt Burton versus Dane Gagai and how fiery and intense that was. I thought it was exciting for a lot of fans. I don't condone violence, but I thought it was exciting to see so much passion and intensity in the game. And that's what was at stakes. It was all the chips in the middle for both sides. Queensland had their own storyline. They were down to 15 players very, very early. No Cameron Munster. New South Wales lost Cameron Murray in the first tackle of the game. And when the game's so tight like that, you're going to see players' emotions boil over. I thought both players, were fantastic for their side. And it was one of those occasions where it just boiled over a little bit. It was exciting, I will say that, to say the least. Jacob Saifiti on debut, I thought if you have a look at Jacob, probably copped a little bit of criticism, and I'm one of those people that wasn't sure about Jacob's inclusion in the side, but I thought Freddie got it right. His first stint was outstanding, came in, ran straight over Jeremiah Nanai, and then also scored a try as well. And that's given him the confidence now to take that back to Newcastle as well. So when you get a taste of Origin, you come in and you're thinking, yep, I'm here, I've arrived on the big stage. The next part that Freddie will be looking from Jacob is to take that back to the Newcastle Knights, pair it up, because if he's at his best like he was on Wednesday night, you pair that with Daniel Saifiti, they may have the best front row pairing in the competition. So I'm happy to say that I wasn't sure about Jacob, but gladly and pleasantly surprised that he got the job done, and now huge fan of what he was able to do on that stage. And sometimes you don't know about players. I've learnt from being my own experience and also, being in the media for so long now that sometimes you get it wrong, but you've just got to wait and see if they can get there. And sometimes you've got to throw them in. And I thought Jacob was probably the perfect candidate for that. But now he has arrived on the big stage. James Tedesco. There's no more words that we can talk about how good he was this series for New South Wales. He'll win the Player of the Series for New South Wales, the Brad Fittler medal, standing on his ear. I thought he was outstanding. He ran for 298 metres. The way that he stayed in the game constantly when everyone else probably looked like they were just pulling back a little bit and falling back, he just kept marching forward. So I was really, not impressed. That's the standard for James Tedesco, and selfishly, as New South Wales fans, we probably don't recognise how good he actually is at times because he's got such a high standard. So James Tedesco for me, if New South Wales win, he wins the Wally Lewis medal. Unfortunately, we didn't, and he'll win the Brad Fittler medal. But what a leader he's turned into, what a player he is now in the NRL, and certainly going to be probably one of New South Wales' best ever players when he calls time. Origin is about big moments, and if you have a look at Game 1 and Game 3, New South Wales weren't able to win those big moments. There were some errors from the New South Wales Blues that off the back of that created pressure which led to points. And Game 1, we all saw Cameron Munster, the one-on-one steals, the loose balls. He won the big moments. Game 2, Nathan Cleary in Perth, he wins the big moments. We get the bounce of the ball and we put ourselves there. Game 3, it was one of those games where it was to and fro, where if you made an error, whether it was Queensland or New South Wales, the other side was that good to punish you. And at times, we got punished with that first try to Queensland, and then we punished them. A couple of mistakes by them, and we felt like we had the running. And then just before half-time, unfortunately, we came up with an error, and then we conceded a try 12-10. So going into half-time, we probably felt like it needed to be 12-6, but actually it felt like 18-6 because we'd been on top and we're starting to run through the middle with only 15 players on the other side. After half-time, we all know how that goes. Moments, big moments in games. If you can't continually come up with those big moments, especially in Origin, you're going to get punished. And Queensland were good enough to do that. Unfortunately for New South Wales, they'll have to wait 12 months and listen to them carry on about it and the great win that they did have. The positives for New South Wales, again, I spoke about Jacob Saifidi. You've got some young guys there. The arrival of Matt Burton coming onto that left side. For 12 months, we probably thought, is he good enough? Will he get a chance there? He gets a chance there and showed that he's going to be a New South Wales player for years to come. So there's plenty of players there that Brad Fittler can go to the pool next year. Sasifa Talakai as well, got experience there as well. Plus, the combination of Damien Cook and Api Korosa, that's going to be an interesting one now for Brad Fittler going forward on his selection next year. So it'll hurt for a little while, New South Wales fans, but hang in there and make sure that we're, in 12 months' time, we get to do it all again, all the fun again. So I think successfully for the last 5 minutes, I've been talking without a breath. We've gone behind Blue Eyes.